and welcome to Wellbeing Weekly for Grown-Ups, Week 10. This week, it's kindness, gratitude and self-care. Kindness is never wasted. This week is Mental Health Awareness Week, focusing on kindness, gratitude and giving thanks. We have a lot to be thankful for, and lots of acts of kindness sometimes pass us by. This week, let's see if we can be more mindful of carrying out acts of kindness and recognising those acts when they come our way. To recognise kindness, you need to have an open and grateful soul. The act of looking out for daily moments to be grateful is really a positive way to achieve lasting happiness. You can do this through gratitude meditation. Gratitude meditation, as indicated by the name, is a kind of meditation centered on feeling grateful. While there are many other styles of meditations out there, gratitude meditation is one of the easiest you can practice anywhere, even in the midst of a hectic work schedule.
If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, please do so. As you sit or lie down, gently elongate your back and neck. Anchor yourself in your breath. Inhale slowly and gently, filling your chest with air, and allow your belly to rise. And as you exhale, your belly and then chest drop. Slow, gentle, deep inhalation, followed by slow, gentle, long exhalation. Allow your lips to gently relax, with a hint of a smile signifying that all is right. As you continue to breathe, bring to mind someone you know well who has been there for you for a long time, or someone you just met and did something nice for you. Imagine that person in front of you with a generous and gentle smile on their face. Without words, by simply looking at them, convey to them how grateful you are. Continue to observe them. Notice more details about them, and fill yourself up with gratitude. Gratitude for their existence, gratitude for the fact they're part of your life, gratitude for the feeling of gratitude. If your mind wanders, return it to that person whom you appreciate and express gratitude. While continuing with the deep and quiet breathing, shift your attention to something for which you're grateful. It could be food, a particular object that you own, or a favorite landscape. Imagine that whatever it is that you're grateful for is in front of you. Observe it, scan it, and appreciate it. Appreciate that it is part of your life, that you can experience and enjoy it. your mind wanders, return it to that something for which you're grateful. Shift your focus back to your breath. Slow, gentle, deep inhalation. Slow, gentle, long exhalation. We live in a wonderful world, and there is so much to be grateful for. At every moment in your life, you can choose to be grateful for something in front of you, within you, something that you have, or someone you know. And we can be grateful for our ability to be grateful.
So what is gratitude? Gratitude is having an attitude of being thankful. Gratitude is being ready to show appreciation for the kindnesses that have been shown to you, whether those kindnesses are physical or even emotional kindnesses. Gratitude is seeing the positive and being glad for it and responding to it. Gratitude is a choice that we make. We can choose to be grateful. We can choose to recognize kindness, and we can choose to respond to it. It's in each one of us to decide to take control of our attitudes in a positive way. One of those things that you can do is actually write a gratitude journal, which I know is something that we've talked about many times over these last few weeks. What are you grateful for? And in this time of pandemic, those things that you have been grateful for are actually probably more basic than they would have been before the pandemic started. You're grateful for your health. You're grateful for your family. You're grateful for the love that you have. You're grateful for the little things. And in response to being grateful, you see the kind and wonderful things that are going on around you. Random acts of kindness, which we've talked about many, many times, but they mean so much. They don't have to be bought. They can be a little act of thankfulness and kindness, a little note sent to somebody, left on somebody's desk, a little email sent, a little post-it, a little voice message just saying, I appreciate what you did there. I appreciate the amount of time that you've taken to do that. Thanks very much. It means so much, especially when you're on the receiving end of that, because sometimes this remote learning, you feel very isolated, and any amount of kindness that is shown to you means so much more. Using the kindness message tool that's been devised by secondary team, the secondary team this week are collecting kindness messages that they're going to send out, which is a wonderful way of recognising the little things that people do. And it's the little things that make the wheel turn. We all want to be part of something big. We all want to sort of have our moment in the sun and be part of this amazing CIA team and be the sort of stars in shining stars. But we're all shining stars. One shining star in a little sky is going to get lost. But a whole sky full of stars, little ones, big ones, that is one totally different show. So those little kindness messages make such a difference, and every little thing that you do contributes to the wonderfulness that is CIA. And then maybe just send an email or a text or a voice message or even an emoji or a picture, something that you see that you think, do you know what? I think that somebody's going to appreciate that today, and just send it to them. It makes such a difference.
Gratitude series in the lead up to Thanksgiving. Today I really want to talk to you about how to develop gratitude right? Maybe many of you already feel this. I'm going to start off with a question. I want you in the comment section to tell me what you're really grateful for. Right? What have you been grateful for today, this week, this month, this year, whatever it is? I want you to think long and hard or really short and quick. And I've talked about gratitude before, but today I really, really wanted to talk to you about why we are not grateful, like why we stop ourselves, what are the barriers or blocks for us from being grateful, why we should be grateful, what are the real benefits. And finally, I want to specifically talk to you about keeping a gratitude journal, a practice that I kept up for many, many years. This is almost a lesson to myself so that I can go back to doing it. But this is something I did for consecutive years, can't remember, long period of time. And it's something that I still do mentally, but I still believe that writing it down is the most amazing thing. So let's talk about this. Why is it that we struggle to be grateful? In the comment section, let me know. Why do you feel sometimes in life you struggle to be grateful? So some of the most common answers include that we believe it's difficult and a bit useless. People go, oh, that's too difficult to have to think about what I'm grateful for every day. And what's the point of it anyway? Like, no one notices, no one cares. That's not true, but we'll get to that, right? That's one reason. The second reason is it requires too much effort, right? It requires us to actually sit there and figure it out and think it through, so it requires too much effort. And the third one is, and this is the one that I think we really need to connect to, is that we genuinely underestimate the power of gratitude in our daily life. We actually underestimate it. Now, I posted a speech. I was doing a speech series on Facebook. If you don't already follow me, I'm at JShettyIW on Facebook. Come and find me. And I posted a video series called Speechless, where I'm posting some of my favorite speeches by celebrities. And I posted this one video by Matthew McConaughey. The video's now got like 35 million views. And in that, he says this phenomenal statement. And he says that it's a scientific fact that gratitude reciprocates. Right? It's a scientific fact that gratitude reciprocates. And if you really unravel that, and that's what we're going to be doing today, we really underestimate the power that gratitude can actually have in our life. So Alvina says, we don't see the simple things in life to be grateful. But Alvina, that's exactly what Oprah said. Oprah was saying that in the change from 1996 to like 2012 in her career, she was making more money, her business was progressing, she started up her own TV network, all of this great stuff was happening. But she felt that she was losing sight of the little things in her life. That's why she started keeping a gratitude journal. Some of the most successful people we look at today keep gratitude journals. Another reason why we struggle with gratitude is because we've surrounded ourselves with people who complain. And sometimes we are those people who complain, right? If you're not nodding, it's you. We complain. And we're surrounded by people who complain. So we complain so much that all we see is challenges and negatives. See, when you focus on problems, all you get is more problems. And when you focus on possibilities, what you create is more opportunities. And that's true because it's all a matter of focus, right? Whatever you focus on is what you amplify. And we're doing that every single day with our thoughts. We're doing that every single day with what we share with our friends. So being around complainers is something to watch out for. And that's something sometimes we can't get out of. That's where we've got to find this space to keep our own gratitude, a gratitude space, a gratitude journal. Next one, happiness dependent on external factors. When we start keeping a gratitude journal, we start becoming grateful for things we observe rather than things we expect. Right? When we expect things, that stops us from being grateful because usually people aren't living their days so that they can live up to our expectations. They're living their days so that they can live up to their expectations. And when our expectations aren't met, we feel ungrateful because we feel that someone or something is not living up to our standards. And that's why having happiness based on anything external is a recipe for disaster. Because we'll always be let down. Whenever we want something outside to make us feel good, we'll always feel limited and ungrateful. And now the third one is that we have this do more, have more, be more syndrome, which is great. Ambition is great. But part of that is being grateful for the fact that you can even have ambition. Right? Being grateful for what's already been given to you. When you're moving forward at a great pace and you're achieving things you never thought you would, you've got to take a moment to be grateful for what you've been given because that's giving you the opportunity to build. Peace, love, energy, divine, 100%. If we do not appreciate what we presently have, we will never appreciate more. That's so true. And this quote I put out, if you're grateful for what you have, you'll be given more to be grateful for. One of the biggest challenges we have with gratitude is we postpone it. We say, when I get £1 million, I'll feel grateful. When I have all my family in one place, I'll feel grateful. When I have this, I'll feel grateful. We postpone, delay, push back, right? We make a scenario, an ideal scenario that we expect, that we want, that will make us feel grateful. But recognize this. The point we're making is that whatever we have is not enough. And we're looking for something else to feel that. Whereas, scientifically, if we feel grateful for anything we have, then we'll feel grateful. So if you're grateful for $1, you're grateful for $100, you're grateful for $1,000, you're grateful for $10,000, you're grateful for $100,000, you'll be grateful for $1 million. It doesn't work that you'll only be grateful for $1 million, because when you have the $1 million, you want $1 billion, right? There's a different mindset. That gratitude mindset is the one that you want to tune into. So start tuning out of postponing gratitude and start tuning in to feeling gratitude in the moment you're in right now. Paro, I don't have to chase extraordinary moments to find happiness. It is already there in the small, beautiful day-to-day moments. We just need to open our eyes. It's so true. It's so true. Because I was posting this the other day, that I was looking at from a hospital study, the regrets of people. And their top regrets was, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. I wish that I'd let myself be happier. I wish that I'd stayed in touch with my friends. And I wish I'd had the courage to live true to myself, not life others expected of me, right? Simple things. None of those things are complicated. None of those things are about moving forward with ambition. It's those simple, connected things. Susan said the best part of journaling, especially gratitude journals, is going back and reading, especially on the day you are struggling. You start to realize that so many things open up. I couldn't agree more, right? Imagine having a book that you start writing today, Thanksgiving this year, and you write it every day for the next 365 days. And next year, 2017, on Thanksgiving, you open it up and you look at what you were grateful for. Imagine how many things you can add up every single day that you're grateful for. And imagine what you can reconnect to. So now I wanted to give you some ideas of how to keep an effective gratitude journal. These are from my own reflections, my own experiences, my own practice of keeping one. So I'm going to be sharing some stuff that I hope you can connect with. And I wanted to make this session less about the science. I will mention some scientific studies, but less about the science and more about the practice. I think everyone tuned in right now is convinced, right? It's a scientific fact that gratitude reciprocates. I think you're with me on that. So I want to help you deepen your practice. Now, gratitude journals are something I recommend you keep at least once a day or once a week, at the very least once a week, right? Once a week is great. If you can do once a week, ideally on a Sunday, fantastic. If you can do once a day, ideally before you go to bed, fantastic, right? Those are the two kind of recommendations I have. That's the best way to keep it. And in this gratitude journal, people are like, well, what does it mean? What does it look like? It can just look like this. Like, it just has to be a notebook. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to be a specific style of book, right? It can just be any notebook with lined paper. But you want something that stays in one place. Now, people often ask me, can I keep a gratitude journal electronically? Absolutely fine. But I would really recommend, ideally, having it somewhere where you're writing down. This ink, pen to paper, is so much more powerful when we're trying to write down things that impact us in a powerful way. So finding a notebook that works for you. If you want to do it electronically, if that's the only way, Evernote on your phone as an app or just in notes on your phone, absolutely fine too. But remember, once a week or once every day. Now, what do you do when you open up that book? You open up that book, do you have to write Dear Gratitude Journal? Do you have to write Dear Diary? No, you don't, right? This is how I recommend keeping it going, keeping it regular. So what I recommend is doing this 15 minutes before you go to sleep. This is also a great way of disconnecting from your phone. Right? How many of you are on your phones at least in that gap 15 minutes before you go to bed, right? If that is you, this is a great way of substituting that last 15 minutes, moving away from your phone screen and starting to keep a gratitude journal. I recommend doing it before sleep because it does two things. It lets you sleep better because you've been allowed to offload your thoughts, you've gone to sleep with positive thoughts, you've banked them away. And at the same time, you wake up with these positive affirmations. You wake up with the feeling that you went to sleep with. And you can also think about what you were grateful for that day.
So you can hear from Jay Shetty, and he's somebody that I've spent an awful lot of time listening to over the last couple of months. Why gratitude journals are so important. You can read for yourself why they are important. But from a personal point of view, I started doing that many, many years ago when things weren't always so happy and fun. And I needed to seriously sit and think about what it was that was positive in my life. So I can sit here and say that they definitely make a difference. Because sometimes we really do need to sit and think about, right, what's happened today that I'm actually grateful for. We all have those days. Sometimes we have those weeks. Sometimes we have those months. So the fact that if you could sit and write these journals, they actually, and you can look back and look at all of the things that you have been grateful for over the last preceding days, weeks and months, that you realise how full of joy and kindness your life really actually is, but sometimes you just need reminding of it. Rumi said, wear gratitude like a cloak and it will feed your every corner of your life.